Hey, I'm sure you saw the thumbnail and you were appalled. You thought to yourself, Hugh, what in the 7th layer of hell have you done now? You strange, crazy man. Are you cooking humans, Hugh? And the immediate answer to that is no, I am not cooking any humans. But I do think quite a lot, more than the average person perhaps. I think quite a lot about cannibalism. I really do. And seeing as some of my more voodoo videos, that voodoo is not an adjective, excuse me. Well, it's sort of an adjective. It isn't. Is it? It isn't. It isn't? No. What? Considering the attention that those kinds of videos have got, where I do stuff like, say, resurrect George Bush or haunt my own doll, I thought I might go over this. Because who knows? Maybe you someday will find yourself in the situation where you will have to chow down on a human. Maybe it's for survival. Maybe you need to hide a body. That, the second option, probably a very good, very solid thing, because it's very easy to hide a body if the body is in your stomach. You just need to get rid of the teeth. So, I thought I'd quickly go over some ideas I had for how to chow down on a human. First off, we are assuming that the human is already dead. We will also assume that the human is pretty fresh, because that is how meat works. When you have your human, the first thing you want to do is butcher it. I should probably put something at the start of the video warning people about the gruesome nature of this topic. But anyhow, the human body is comprised of muscles and organs. That's a huge oversimplification, but it's a simplification. So what you want to do, this is how you get your money's worth out of a human. First, you remove the head from the body. You will not be using the head, at least not in this video. If I come up with any advanced tactics for eating head, I'll let you know. How's that? But if you do fall into the whole thing of trying not to get caught by law enforcement because you have this body on your hands, I would make sure you destroy the teeth before burying the body, because the teeth stick around a long time and there are such thing as dental records, and that's the whole thing. Anyhow, it's called. Now, you separated the head from the body. You'll probably need a saw for this, because bones, the spine, generally hard to cut through. It's tiresome. Next, you should take your arm and leg muscles, preferably the leg muscles, because while people are varying levels of healthy, the leg muscles tend to be better than the arm muscles, because more people tend to walk than they do lift. And that's just how it is. Like, more people walk, more people get around, so there will be more to work with there. That's just a fact. So what you want to do is strip the meat from the bone on the limbs, the arms and legs. I don't think we'll be using the hands or the feet. They're both sparse amounts of meat, not very good. What you want to do here is basically push your knife under the skin until it hits bone, and then slide your knife along the length of the limbs and remove that skin. You may have some trouble around the elbow and the knees, but continue as planned. Next, I'm not sure how many of you have continued watching after I've gotten done with this part, because honestly, I'm not focusing on what I'm saying right now on purpose, because this is the sort of thing that makes someone want to throw up. But hey, the intrusive thoughts won out on this one, and I am going to post it. And if you clicked on it, you're the freaky one, not me. I am perfectly normal. You can tell by the way I'm speaking. Anyway, give me a second. Right, and we're back. The way to do it, how you proceed from there, is you open up the chest. You fucking do that same little thing. You're not going to want to stab here. You're going to want to slice, because the ribs, they sort of, they don't exactly vibe with knives. So instead, you're going to want to strip the meat off the top of the ribs and then move the ribs out of the way manually. And like, I've heard that in general, in the world of cuisine, like the heart is a thing people eat, just the general organs, stomach tissue, stuff like that. You know, if the limbs aren't enough for you and you want to get some real hot cuisine going on, go for it. Now, as far as I can tell, there are two main methods you'd go about cooking human meat. You'd either want to fry it, or you'd want to boil it. Now, boiling it, it's very easy, and I know how to talk about it. You get some water to boiling, and like very, very thoroughly boiling, like absolutely piping hot boiling. And you slap your meat in there, preferably in little strips, not thick bits, instead of little strips, so it gets a good amount of cooking. If you do chunky bits, then the inside could be raw, and yeah. So this will make your meat chewy, which isn't necessarily bad. You can serve it up with noodles. You can have a real day of it. And boiling just works. You can add some broth. Ooh, you can cook it in broth. Dude, that would literally change everything. Because, okay, so I'll be as very specific as I want to. You take your meat. It's usually pink. Of course it's pink. It's a red, pink. It's a color. You slap it in there. You could cook it in broth. I'd even suggest cooking it in broth because of the flavor. Woo-ee. Baby. Maybe you throw some noodles in there. Maybe you throw some vegetables in there. Like, I don't know, not celery. Like leafy vegetables. I forget. You can fry an egg in there. You can make yourself a nice little hot pot of human flesh. And when the meat is a good brown, then it's good enough to eat. I would err on the side of caution whenever you're cooking human meat, because I don't know where the salmonella thing starts or ends. So you don't want to risk food poisoning ever. For some reason, like, the idea of getting food poisoning on human meat, I guess, is extra scary to me. Beats me, I'm a strange fellow. Anyway, proceeding from thence, itch, you can just eat it like that. You can also fry it. This is the same method. You want strips. You don't want big things. Now, I have heard that the smell of human flesh burning is awful. But that's not what's happening here. This is frying. So you want to get a good pan. You want to coat it with butter or something like that, a good oil. And you want to slap those strips on there, and essentially you're making human bacon. That's just the fine print of it. You're making human bacon. You're taking those strips, you can make them pretty thin, pretty thick. I know bacon just shrivels up all the way when you're cooking it. So you can make some pretty thick, pretty long strips, and then eat some human bacon. And I mean, cook it in bacon grease. I know my mother saves bacon grease. If you save bacon grease, cook it in bacon grease. It'll taste like bacon. If you have, like a spaghetti strainer kind of device that, I know chefs use, whatever. That, chefs use to cook, to make ground beef, the kind you make into burgers. Theoretically, you can make a human burger. And I'm honestly really attracted to this idea. That would be grilling, wouldn't it, though? I am really attracted to the idea of human burgers, because you just... Oh, no! You throw ground beef on the thing, and you make some good on a pan. You fry ground beef, and you make some good, you make a good, like, little bits of meat, little chunks. What are they called? Well, like ground beef. I bet that's what they're called. Like the little grains of meat that you put in, like, casseroles or something. They're like Sloppy Joes. That's it, Sloppy Joes. I haven't had a Sloppy Joe in forever. Maybe I'm wrong. But if you had a spaghetti strainer, or you wanted to chop it up into really tiny bits, you could potentially make a nice Sloppy Joe. I would suggest making a sandwich out of your human, because... again, human sandwiches, in a strange way, called to me, the same way I was called to make this video. You serve up your human in a sandwich, and everything's right in the world. What time is it? It is 6:41. Time to go commit some crimes, baby. So, I am going to hit it in reverse, and thank you all so much for watching my video. If I were you, I'd grind those teeth to a fine paste, and I'll tell you if I come up with any advanced cooking techniques from Ron Gramsci himself to cook your human in new, exciting ways. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye. And may no one ever cook you.